Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I just want to say I appreciate you guys being here. So we're going to get right into this cream of the crop, the peanut butter of the jelly, the manga. I haven't done a manga thing in a while. I realized that. Actually, now I'm thinking back, I haven't done manga in a minute. So we're going to just talk about Kaiju No.8. I read the first 6 volumes of Kaiju No.8. I actually did a community poll of what I should read. Was it versus Jujutsu Kaisen or Kaiju No.8? And you guys picked Kaiju No.8? So, which is pretty cool. I'm very happy you guys actually did that. Now, I'm only going to talk about brief things about Kaiju No.8. I don't know if I'm going to go into spoilers about it, because I myself haven't finished it yet. So I kind of just want to talk about things I really enjoyed about this manga so far. And the anime is out, so I might watch the anime just for the fights, because granted, you know, watching a fight is going to be way cooler than reading the fight, you know, it's just how it is. So with Kaiju No.8, there's like pros and there's cons, just like it is in everything you read, any kind of media. But my thing is, with Kaiju No.8, I will say one of the strongest things is, for one, the fights are really good in it. I feel like the manga itself is very fast paced. I never once felt like when I was reading it was like, all right, come on, let's get to the next page. What's gonna happen? When's the next chapter? When are we done with this? It never felt like that, but it still had really good character moments, I would say. And I like the way that it's slowly showing you the world, like how the kaijus are all like, you're slowly learning how the kaijus are all working through this, and I really like that. I think that was like the best part about this, is just the world building of this is just phenomenal. Figure out what does Kaiju No.8 mean, which honestly I had no idea for a hot minute. I think it was like volume 2 or 3 is when you actually learn about Kaiju No.8 or what the meaning of it is, and I really appreciated that. I think, like I said, the fights are really good, but I also think the downside of it is it feels like it's only just throwing hands, and there's not enough like moments just to sit back and take a breather. There was parts where I was reading this and it would go boom, fight, and then maybe a chapter, not even a chapter, a couple pages of just having these character moments, and it doesn't really lead to anywhere, because boom, there's another fight. They're always constantly fighting kaijus, which I think is not a bad thing. It's just like, when you want to learn more about these characters, the only time you really are learning about these characters is when they're fighting, which I think is fine. But to me, sometimes I just want to sit back and take a breather and like just learn these characters without fighting. But I think that's like a new age thing when it comes to manga in general, is manga is now switching to just straight hands, because it's just doing a lot of things where people just, I think it's just attention where people are just focusing more on the fights and not on just sitting and doing character developments that way. It's more of just like fighting scenes, and that's where the character developments are from, which is fine. I'm not sitting there critiquing and hating on it. I'm just saying, like, to me, sometimes it's nice to just take a breather and you learn the characters through just moments of talking instead of just throwing hands, and that's when they're gonna do their character moments. Granted, manga and anime, that's how a lot of them always do it, and I'm not gonna complain about it because I'm pretty used to it. I mean, when you read or watch shonen, that's where you learn the characters the most, is when they fight. To me, it's been a while since I've read, I guess, more of I mean, Kaiju No.8 isn't shonen. I think it's not a shonen manga, but I'm just saying, like, the shonen, I'm gonna put it lightly, version of how characters do their moments and stuff, and I just haven't read anything like that in a minute. The last thing I read was Berserk, so granted, I just realized I'm wearing a Berserk shirt. So to me, it's just like, I'm used to one way of how they do like character development. Everything is like talking and not fighting the whole time. So jumping right into this is just like, whoa. But I will say, I think the characters are really cool, and I like a lot of what's going on, where every single time I was reading one volume of this, I'm like, this is really good. I was not expecting Kaiju No.8 to be this good, but oh man, I like the way it's going. It makes me just like it more than I anticipated on. It makes me feel like it's One Punch Man in a way, because it has so much humor in it where I like it. The main character, I like the idea of how the main character is like a middle-aged man, like, well, not middle-aged, but he's in his mid-30s, and I like that premise, because you're so used to having your main characters be a 15-year-old. They're just naturally born good at everything. Well, the main character in Kaiju No.8 is not. He has tried so many times to become you know, I can't think of what it's called. I think it's like a hunter or something for kaijus, fighting kaijus. And instead he is the cleanup crew because he keeps failing at it. And now he has this chance to actually do the right thing, and I really am enjoying it. There's some parts in this where, since now he is, well, a kaiju, I mean, that's pretty clear. I think we all knew that he was going to be a kaiju. But there was moments of this where it made me remember of, like, Attack on Titan when Eren is, like, a Titan. Spoilers, I guess, because you guys never read or watched Attack on Titan. But, like, there's scenes that make me think of Attack on Titan, but the way that the author did Kaiju No.8, it's almost the same exact scene for scene, but they do it differently of what they want to do with the main character for Kaiju No.8 versus what they want to do with Eren, and how they handled Eren when they knew he was a Titan versus what they're going to do with the main character in Kaiju No.8. I really like that. That was my first thought. As soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh my gosh, this kind of reminds me of Attack on Titan. Now, am I saying that one's better than the other? No, I think they're both really cool of how they did it. My other thing is, I do like, but it felt like it was very repetitive, because it kind of did that repetitively, where you would be almost done with the volume and it leaves on a cliffhanger, which is fine, but it felt like it was the same exact cliffhanger where the ending, someone's about to die, and then all of a sudden the MC's there as kaiju form, and he just stands there like a really cool guy. And I felt like that happened. So like I said, I read 6 volumes, and I feel like that was like 3 of the volumes it felt like that, and I'm like, this was cool the first time. And then when I was getting closer and closer to being almost finished with the book, I already knew in my head, I'm like, okay, it's gonna be the same exact thing again. So that was like my biggest complaint about Kaiju No.8. But honestly, I really liked it. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars for all the manga I've read so far. Do I plan on reading more of it? Absolutely. I think Kaiju No.8 was really good. And it's so good I want to watch the show, just because the fights, there's a lot of fights. So, I mean, I'm down to watch the fights. I mean, that's kind of what Jujutsu Kaisen is mostly. It's just hands. So, I really like Jujutsu Kaisen. So, I'm like, Kaiju No.8's just as good. Maybe not just as good, but it's pretty freaking good. I mean, I really liked it. I do plan on reading, so I own all 22 volumes of Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm probably gonna read all of Jujutsu Kaisen, and then I might do more. I might read the rest of Kaiju No.8, or I might do all of Kaiju 8 and finish that, and then do like a giant review of Kaiju No.8, and then I'll do Jujutsu Kaisen next. Next year, though, I'm debating on either returning back to One Piece or doing all Bleach. I'm a big fan of Bleach, so I might do Bleach. I'm really hit or miss with One Piece right now. I ain't really feeling it, but I want to do at least the first 4 major arcs of One Piece before I'm like, alright, is this really worth it or not? So, regardless. But yeah, I really did like Kaiju No.8. I think it was a really fun manga. I am excited to keep on reading it and seeing where it goes from there. If you guys made it to the end of the video, I do appreciate it. Make sure you guys check out all my socials down below. What do you guys think about Kaiju No.8? Do you guys think it's pretty good, or do you guys think it might be a little hyped, or do you think it's underhyped? What do you guys think? I would love to know in the comments down below. And of course, make sure you guys stay safe, stay humble, and tell someone you love them. I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay weird.